I'll be sharing with you how I created this game from scratch, which I titled as Falling Zombie Shooter. But before I delete this one and start all over, let me show it how it works. So this is the game I created from scratch. Let's reduce the sound. Uh, so the player has the option to either avoid uh, getting hit by the falling zombie coming from top, or simply shoot it out so you can gain more scores. That's how it plays. So let's take a look at this. So this is what you get after watching The Walking Dead. So you are being absorbed with the characters. So I just kind of thought of seeing some simple game tutorial for falling zombie shooter, like it's like avoiding obstacles. So this is the contents of the game. I have here four different sprites. Sprite is what we call for the blocks uh, that needs to be added on our working area here. So that's the term from scratch itself. Scratch is an interactive platform whenever you want to create games with added interactive elements, so you don't need to normally it's via coding, but you won't have a headache of adding the textual form of codes. So instead it's in the form of colorful blocks. So here on the left side, so when you go to scratch.mit.edu, of course you might be wondering why there is a MIT here, because this was created by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. So we have here on the homepage of the Scratch platform. So I'm on my game, so I'll be sharing how I made this one. This is just a very basic one. Even high school can create this game. So we have here treetops, code, costumes, and sounds. But before you get in that, if you will be creating a new code, let me save this one, but we will start all over again. Earlier I was recording and didn't actually record the sound. So whenever you go back to your file, so this is my account, so I'm not using scratch that much, so I'll just go back to my stuff here. If you want to create, this is the button that you need to click, the create button. We'll go back to falling zombie shooters if you have already created the game. So this was the one I created earlier. We'll take a look at inside for its visual blocks or the codes. The good thing about this is uh, you don't need to add textual form of codes, which you might kind of forget and instead use and time consuming to do. It's being grouped here in a colorful visual blocks, just like puzzle pieces. You need to attach together to form a movement, just like this one. So we have here on the left, these are our codes, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 groups. So from the motion code, these are grouped together under the blue color visual blocks, just like what you're seeing. So if you click on motion, we have here, this calls for the movements of your sprite here. So here you can choose the direction of the movement of your sprite, and you can add this here for if you want to put some values for x and y position with no specific values in it, or the direction. Under this next block, we have the looks group. This is for the costume, the background, the text that you would like to display on the screen. So you can pick one from here and you can just change the inside. This one is white. And the third group, it's in purple. All right, red, violet. So we have here the sound, which you can also get one from the library, or you can also add your recordings to make your game more interactive and fun. We have the fourth group, which is in color yellow blocks. So this is now the events group. So this is the starting of the game. So as you have seen here, that the scratch game always has the green flag because it's the first line of event. So what's going to happen if the user click on green flag, then it goes right here down at the bottom, the movement and everything that will be displayed on the gaming area. Then we have here the controls group in an orange blocks. So you can pick one here. This now calls for the logic, the movement of your blocks, repeated pattern, the forever loop, the if and then statement, which is in the visual code or visual blocks. Next one is sensing, just like it's a sensor, so it's in aqua green. It looks like aqua green for me. So touching the mouse pointer, what's gonna happen to the sprite, touching its color or the distance. And you can also make a quiz out of Scratch. That's why we have there the ask block under sensing. So previously, one of the projects in CS50, I created a quiz, interactive quiz game via Scratch platforms. I put there hello, what's your name, and the user can simply type in their answer, and there's an answer block for that. Next group is under the green blocks, which is for operators. Operators literally just like mathematical operators, and we have here the inequality symbol, greater than, less than, and equal sign. And we have here the joint blocks here if you want to put this two together in just one line, so it will be much shorter. And we have the next one, it's variable of under the orange visual blocks. So you can also make one by clicking make variable, and you can type how you would you like to name the variable, and this will play a vital role in the game later on, live, score, and invincible. I'll skip that for now. Or you can make a list. The last one is my blocks. This one is empty because if the user wants to create one for the game, then you can create your own puzzle pieces. It's kind of exciting and fun and entertaining for the eyes. It's very user friendly, so that's why Scratch is recommended as well for the high schoolers because they can easily make one if just having fun and want to create a game. So this is just a simple game tutorial that I will be sharing with you right now. So as you can see on my screen, I have here 4 different sprites. So sprite is the term being used to refer for this visual characters that needs to add movement or we will be using as our game elements. This one is for the players. So since I would like a zombie to come approaching here, coming from the topmost part of the screen, falling down, and the player will just shoot it or avoid it. So it's like raining zombies. This one I get it from the internet. So I was looking for a hand pointing gun pointing upwards. So just like in Counter-Strike, so I pick one. You can just search for gun pointing upward, Counter-Strike. So that's the one I search, and with hand POV transparent. If it's not transparent, you can just remove the background from any platform or even online background remover. The next sprite here is our bullet. So we want to shoot the zombie, so there must be a bullet that will shooting upwards towards the zombie here. So I also get it online, this one, and I'll just remove the background because in uploading the sprite you need to click the scratch green white silhouette, and you have 4 options to choose from. Choose a sprite. We have here the library of Scratch, and the one I'm looking for is the gun is not here, and even the bullet, it's not in the library. So if it's not in the library, you can draw this one. You can choose here to paint. You can just paint the however you like, or just delete this one. Or if you don't want to paint, you just want a random characters just like this one, but you don't know what that is because you just click on surprise. Or you can just click this arrow up that says downloads because you will be uploading, or so you will be getting it from your downloads folder from your laptop or computer. So I clicked this upload sprite and I uploaded the bullet sprite. Next one is we have here for the main the villains are zombies. So this zombie look I also got it from online, from internet. And this one I just remove its background and upload it here in Scratch. And lastly, the 4th one is the game over text. I have here 2 variables, 2 blocks here on top for the score block and the number of lives. The default number of lives that I put here is not 9 lives but 3. So once the player consumes the 3 lives, then it will be game over for him or for her. And the score, to make it interesting, you wanted to see your score, how much you score. And we don't want this game over block to appear right there, so we'll be adding the code. So to start with, let's remove this one. Removing the block or deleting it, you just need to click it and hold it and drag it to the left. Same with this one, we'll just drag it to the side, and later on I will teach you what code did I pick or how I assemble this one. Again, it's like a piece of puzzle that you need just to attach on the side. Alright, so that's just a quick walkthrough of how the Scratch works and how it looks. Let's start with the player sprite. So as always, as you can see here, that Scratch platform always have the screen of flag here because the event always starts with a green flag is clicked. So what's the movement that you wanted to do for your player? So when the green flag is clicked, we are calling for movement. Again, the movement will come from motion, from the word motion itself. So I want to position this right here at this coordinates. So as you can see, if you move this ever side, but I want it to be at the center. Okay, so but I just wanted to show you, if I'll drag this to the left or to my right, the coordinates for x and y values, the y value stays the same, but the coordinates for x values, because we're dragging it across the x-axis, if you know the Cartesian plane. So if you're just moving an object across the x-axis, so you are not moving it upward, but if you move it upward, so that calls for coordinates for the y. But we'll just put it right at the bottom. I want it to be at the center, but since I created already, so I have the specific coordinates for that, which is negative 11 and negative 144. So that's the starting position of my sprite player. Then what I wanted to do is I want to display this block score and lives, so that will be under variables. So I'll be displaying set score to 0 and set lives to 3 as the default, because we haven't started the game yet. And there's another one which I added. Again, for the variable blocks, you can just make one and name it however you like. So I have here invincible, because the player would be invincible for 3 times. He won't be dead yet once he eaten by the zombie or got hit by the zombie. Our user or player has 3 lives, so this set invisible score to 0. And I will be just showing the score and the live blocks, so I will need to show the variable score and as well as the variable lives. And I will just hide invisible because just for us. Alright, so for the movement, we wanted to continue playing, so we want to move this one. So we'll be going to the control blocks. We'll just pick forever block, and we need to insert something here, so we'll just put the if block, and we'll go to sensing which buttons from the keys that the user or the player can use to operate the player movement. So I'll be using the arrow keys, the right and the left. So if the key, the right arrow is pressed, then we'll change the position of our sprite, player sprite, +5, and we'll just duplicate this and insert right there under the if block. And this time it will be for the left arrow, then it will be -5. We're not done yet under the control block. I'll be inserting another if block, because our operator is not just to move the player. Our goal is not to move our sprite left and right, but there's still another thing that needs to be done. If it touches by the zombie, that's just our third sprite here. So that's going to be under sensing. But I want to include as well the invincible. If it sets to 0, then we need to communicate to another sprite that it's game over. So I'll be using the operators, and because I'll be inserting 2 sensing blocks here, touching it's if there are um, two two MP need to fill in for these operators. If you are holding a block and you want to insert whichever side of that uh, like the visual template, if it's got highlighted on the left, that means it's going to be inserted to your left. You're seeing that. So if it touches the zombie, I haven't named the zombie, it's still the default name from the internet, so we'll just leave it the way it is. For the variables, we'll just have it here. I'll need another operator here because our invincible block need to be set as 0 before broadcast game over. Then if that happens, we need to change, if it touches the zombie, we need to change the lives. If the player got hit by the zombie, so it's gonna reduce the number of lives from 3 down to 0, so 1 for every hit. And set invincible to 1, and we don't want it to appear like pretty quick, so we'll just wait. We'll have a waiting time around 1 second, so we'll just use that. And we will be setting the invincible to 0. Alright, so we need another control if block from the control group, and we need to insert another operator here because we will be inserting 2 elements there. If lives, let's just no. Okay, just change it to circle. If lives is circle equals to 0. Oh, that's right, because we need to fit it here. Circle of lives is 0, then what's gonna happen? So it should broadcast. It can broadcast a message because one sprite can communicate with the other by using this broadcast block. What do you want to say? You can just type it here, game over. So still save here, and then that's pretty much about it. Okay, we'll proceed to the bullet block. So again, we always start with the event block. So when the green flag is clicked, and we don't want to show the bullet yet, so we'll just choose hide from the looks group, the hide block, and we will be using the space to shoot bullet. So I'll be using this event block. When the space key is pressed, I want to add the sound, which I've created the game already, so I know what I like. Then there will be clone of bullets. It's not just one. So what's gonna happen when the bullet is got cloned? When I start as a clone, that's another starting for the control. We will be displaying the bullet now, and then we'll just position that one to the player. We want the bullet to go with the player with this rifle here, so we'll just look for that. We don't have a fixed position for our player because it's being controlled by the user by pressing either the left or the right arrow. So we want it to go along with the player sprite. So we'll go to the position of our player sprite. It's gonna be for X position. We're just clicking from the arrow here. Player, so you need to click on the player, so this X and Y position will be enabled. Along the Y axis also is the same. We'll be inserting the same block, and you're gonna need to choose player and pick Y position. Okay, I added something there, which I will be needing to add an operator plus operator. Later on, you'll get to find out why. It's because the movement of the bullet, I'll add 30 here because I already tested it out earlier. So I'll go back to our logic operators. Repeat until when. Want to fire the bullet until touches the player, touches the zombie, and then what's gonna happen next? If it touches the zombie, we wanted to say something like broadcast something like a zombie got hit, where it still got save, and then we'll be hiding the zombie, I mean the bullet, afterwards. So I'll be adding another if block, for which we will need to insert right here. Okay, and made a mistake, put it here. I'll just separate this one. Want to separate the block, I just need to drag it down at the bottom. Repeat until touching the edge here, touching the edge, and this position we change. Again, I already created this one, so I know how it works earlier. And that was the sound whenever you press the space button. So until it touches the edge here on top. So if it touches the image of the zombie, or the zombie sprite, we want to broadcast a message that the zombie got hit, and then hide it afterwards. And of course, since we broadcast a message, just to avoid buggy games, so we'll just stop the script that we just broadcasted. Okay, then we need to add another if block here right at the first if block, because we need to add something else for the Y position. If we want the bullet to disappear after it's being fired and it purchased on the topmost part of your screen. Square 190, this one is 180, but if I put it 180 earlier, then the bullet's still getting stuck here on top and sticking out half of its body. So greater than 190, we're gonna be hiding the bullet there, and again we need to stop the script. Then delete this clone. That's pretty much about it. We'll just add some adjustment in case we forgot something. Then we will proceed to our zombie block and add the codes for that. Again, we need to start from the event block when the green flag is clicked. So what's gonna happen? We'll just hide first the zombie. We don't want the zombie to appear yet. We'll hide it first. and we'll choose from the control forever block. We'll just add some waiting time around a second before it creates a clone of itself, because the zombie will be falling from the topmost part of the edge. It's like raining zombies, so it's gonna be like needs to clone itself. Remember earlier that the zombie hit, we have here a broadcast message zombie hit, so it will be communicating or on our to our zombie sprite. So what's gonna happen when that zombie sprite receive the message? So when I receive the message zombie hit, we'll just say something like hit, so to indicate that a zombie got hit. Then we'll add just 0.2 seconds, just the minimal shortest time possible. Then if that happens, the score will add up one at a time every time it got hit, so we change the score by one. Then afterwards, we're gonna be deleting this clone, the zombie, after it got hit, because once you hit the zombie, you don't want the zombie to get stuck here on the screen. All right. So another one is we ended up here cloning the zombie here. So what's gonna happen when the zombie start cloning itself? We need to display the zombie. Then we go to its position, set the position. I didn't add it earlier, and the zombie is falling from different direction and it got rotated, so I don't like to rotate the zombie's position. So we go to set rotation style, don't rotate, and we go to its X and Y random position, which needs to be random because it will be falling coming from different directions. So I'll just pick here from the operator's random position for the X and as well as the Y coordinates. So it's going to be negative 180 because we're just using it not coming from the bottom part but from the topmost part, and our Y values should be set to 0. Then we'll go to forever block again to choose our loop. We'll add some movements. We'll just add just 3 steps so the zombie will come forward, and we'll insert for if block. We'll choose from the sensing. If it touches the player, I already renamed the player here, then the zombie graphics needs to hide itself or disappear from the screen. Then we'll delete the clone. It should be under type. Then we need another if block here. Then we need to inequality symbol because we need to insert the Y position from the motion block. If it's less than negative 190, why negative 190? Because of the bottom part, as you are seeing right now on my right, the head of the zombie is still sticking out. That's around 180, so we'll just add plus 10 at the bottom part. So if the Y position goes less than negative 190, then delete the clone. So just should delete the clone or remove the clone from the screen. Okay, we'll just test that later. Then the last and the fourth block, the fourth sprite, again we need to start from the event block. When the green flag is clicked, we won't be displaying game over text yet, so still being hidden. Then we need to wait for the go signal game over. That's from here. If the player sprite broadcasted game over, then we need to receive it. So when I receive the game over message, it's time to display the game over text. And to make my game more interesting, I added a sound. Again, you can just pick one from the library or you can add your own recording. And I don't want to set it to 100% loud, so it's gonna be distracting. Just put it around a minimum of 50% volume and stop all the game once it's over. Okay, I think that's pretty much about it. We'll just see. Okay, we'll just test the space button. It's firing the bullet. Okay, we need to test it on. Wait, we just have to reset it. Okay, so the bullet is not firing. Wait, I think we missed something from the bullet code. What are we missing? So the clone, need to create a clone of itself. And still have the bullet. When the green flag is click, and when I start as a clone, need to show, go to the random position X and Y position, and if it touches the edge, we change 5 values to 12. If it touches the zombie, we need to broadcast zombie here, and when the space key is pressed, it should clone itself. Okay, let's save it for now. I think I don't have any more space left. Oh no, there is. Okay, let's try it again. Alright, so earlier, whenever we play the game, the falling zombie, the bullet is not firing up. And let's check our code for the bullet sprite. What is missing? It's not glowing. And the space key is pressed. The sound is there. Just reduce the sound. There. It should be repeat until this one. Just change our loop and wait. We'll just transfer it there and change Y by 12 under repeat block, repeat until, and this if block we need to put it right here, and then delete. Okay, there you have it. Let's try to check code. Let's reset it from the very beginning. So from the start of the game, the score is set to 0. I'm still sticking out. We'll check that one out. And the lives set to 3 lives. So whenever the green flag is click, so let's start. The zombies will start falling out. And whenever you press your space key, then the bullet will be fired off you. So you can either avoid the zombie, or you can just simply fire it up or shoot it. Sometimes it just a little slow. That depends on the internet connection. So this is just a simple game tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. So I hope you have learned something or a lot about this tutorial. Thank you and see you next time.